Good morning, traders. Happy Friday. Welcome back to another live stream. If you are new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we hop onto the charts, as always, make sure you read what's on the screen. Trading is risky. Most traders lose money, even with prop firms. If you trade, you're probably going to lose all of your money. It's a crazy thing to do. Don't do it. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do here or anywhere else is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Do your own research. Make your own decisions, especially your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is. Even in funded prop firm accounts. And the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content like Top 1 Futures, Code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Chat, how we doing today, guys? What's going on? What's going on, man? It's Friday. Happy Friday, y'all. Let's get after it, man. Let's get after it. Let's see what we got going on here. We have the same damn 15K Top 1 Futures live account that I've been trading in. Took 3 payouts from it this week. Three this week, 1 last week, 2 this week, 1 last week. I can't remember, man. Took a bunch of payouts from it. Nothing crazy, all small. Base hits, as you can tell, based on yesterday, right? We put 400 bucks in. We took a payout for 300 some odd bucks. It's nice to have payouts hit in the bank like that, back to back to back to back to back. That stuff adds up very, very quick. Of course, you know, no big, huge $5,000, $10,000, $100,000 payouts from this bad boy. But the beautiful thing is, we ain't spending anything on it, right? That's the nice part if you slow yourself down. Certainly not the same in the aggressive sim accounts that I'm trading. Those bad boys were working towards larger and faster payouts, and we are also spending some money, losing some accounts. Let's see what we can do here today, man. Markets get ready to open up in about 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and clear everything off this. Actually, no, I'm not. This is our trade from yesterday. Absolute banger. Maybe we don't have tech issues today. Maybe we don't have tech issues today. Let's see. Let's see what we got going on. I'll say what's up to you guys in the chat in just a minute. I do want to see what we got going on here because we were dipping down. We were dipping down today, guys. Dipping down on NQ down below prior day low after a sell-off as well. Just going around the horn on these. All 3 of the US indices that I watch selling off, man. This are we going to have a bloody Friday? A Friday, bloody Friday? February 27th here? Is that what we got going on? Maybe, man. Maybe. Why I'm looking weak. Weak sauce here. Just taking a quick look at the news. What we have going on as well before market opens up. I always do like to take a quick look. If I can remember. It's a crucial, important part of trading. You should definitely be remembering. We have 9:45 a.m. Chicago PMI. That's like nothing. We're pretty clear. We are pretty clear here, guys. All right, let's see what the market's got for us today, man. Let's get some markup rolling. This level did come into play. It's our current volume point of control. It's right off of yesterday's lows. I don't want this here. It's just overlapping, right? We know yesterday's low is right here. That's a key level. Current forming volume point of control. Nice high volume node off the pretty zoomed out. Couple days price action, market structure, visible range, volume profile. Yeah, man, this gonna be interesting. Just trying to frame some trades. I really don't need to do too much more markup. Now, you know what? This level's fine. I'm gonna leave this because I like to look left here, and I like all these levels right here. I like all these touches of this level right here. So, you know, to short this off the open. Right? Same move I'm trying to capitalize on day in and day out, right? We sell off, I'm looking to buy. We pop to the upside, I'm looking to sell, right? Off of a key level, based on price action, market structure, volume, not just, you know, randomly, right? Yeah, somewhere in here, I could see it. Somewhere in here, I could see that type of move. I mean, This one's interesting. This one's interesting here. This doesn't look terrible. Now, where do we think we're going to go before we potentially bounce? Something like that, guys. Something like that. Let's look at the daily real quick. Well, we've got about 30 seconds before market opens up. Getting ready to frame out some trades with you guys. Get some action going here. Yeah, this is a nice level. This is a nice level. We get below this with some force. I think we're headed down here easily. Easily. This is not a huge candle yet. We pull up to the upside. Unless we're just straight up going to dip and then flip this thing bullish, which we absolutely could do. This would look so clean with a really long wick to the downside, bullish formation to just continue blasting through highs. Markets opened up. Best of luck, everybody, even though I don't like to say good luck because I don't think trading should be reliant on luck. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to look to fade this if we pop, which we are right now. Very weak open, right? Way down below prior day's low, down below current volume point of control, selling off through Asia, London. So this Asia, London pre-market structure is very, very weak. You know, we have been pushing the downside. We could certainly continue that. My short idea is going to be somewhere up here. We're going to use some colored lines to make it really clear. My short idea would be somewhere up here. Somewhere around this area, right? Off of this zone, I might wait for a little bit more of a push up through VWAP. Why? I think we could easily go and check out this area right here. Just dip our toes right into the top end of this volume profile. And I really need a good way to structure risk. Getting short in here, I don't like this, right? Getting short like that, you know, what do you do with a stop? That's like silly, right? So, you know, I like something like this. Right? I'm dead wrong if we're flipping this day bullish, right? If we come all the way up through this high, you know, what does that look like? I don't think we're continuing lower. I think I'm dead wrong and we're just pushing the downside. I think we could squeeze this right back up before potentially continuing lower. We certainly could just sell off, but that's what I would be looking at like for a short trade if I was going to take one. Something similar to this, looking around the 280s, let's say. Let's frame this to the downside. Yeah, we opened up, we cracked close to VWAP, and now we're coming right back down. So I don't know that I love this long, guys. If I was gonna dive in front of it, it'd be down here. Not to be too twitchy with my chart, which I'm being. Sorry for making everybody dizzy. Yeah, something like that for a long. And I don't even like that, really. I don't know that I would take that. I don't like that much. You know, what's the thesis on this? We dump off the open really aggressively like that. You know, we are, at that point, you know, approaching 700 points down on the day. Do I think we're going to have a reversal on the day? Or am I just trying to catch a little bit of a bounce? So I would watch this one if we came lower. I don't know. I'd have to make a discretionary call there, guys. But it'd be probably to the high end of this zone. Whoa, this I'm looking above. I'm looking right in here. Yesterday's low, right? Maybe yesterday's value area low for a short, right up in this area right here. For a long, potentially down here. But this is weak so far. Weak yesterday. I want that reversion trade, but this would be a continuation. The short would be a continuation. It wouldn't be a reversion, right? This would be a reversal. Long down here would be a reversal. So we're gonna stay patient though. Stay patient. Nothing immediate. Nothing immediate. Everybody cool with that? Everybody got what we got going on here? See if we can't keep the win streak rolling in the Top 1 Futures live account. They're putting some back-to-back wins in this bad boy. Before we hop back over to NQ and scalp like maniacs. And I got some stuff to talk about on NQ. Did some review, as I always do. We got some stuff to talk about on NQ. I'm not too stoked with NQ right now. Chat, what's up? Happy Friday. ASFX 49, what's up? Nurse Kyle or Nurse Light, I can't pronounce any of you guys' names. What's up? Dwayne, what's happening? Cyrus, what's happening? Mr. Benjamin, good morning. Digital Nukes, Maritime Trader, Paul, Hansel Brand, what's up? Special morning to you, Zach. Special morning to you, brother. ADO King, good morning. Let's effing go. Let's get it, guys. Eric Schmidt, what's happening? Schmitz. Guess we didn't like the PPI news. No, we didn't. Let's see. That's right. That's. I repeat a lot of those stupid phrases, right? You guys could probably pick up on some of them. Are we bullish or bearish at YM? That's a good question. It's a good question. Good morning. NQ looking really bearish right now. Hoping for 2 longs. Hoping for a bounce. We'll see. Glenn B, what's up? Brad, what's up? Natanya, what's up? What's going on? Kick. How we doing on Kick? The OGs, as always. Kobe Clark. What's up, my brother? My brothers and sisters in Christ. What's happening? Jess, what's happening? What's going on, guys? Thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here. Yeah. Are we bullish or bearish? There's always a case to be made, right? Are we bullish on the daily chart? Maybe, right? I'd say this looks pretty bullish. Are we bearish on the 15-minute chart? Kind of, right? Kind of. I'd say yes, right? Are we looking pretty weak on the 1-minute chart? Yes, I'd say this looks pretty weak. All right, so it depends on what you're looking at, right? Overall, higher time frames, really zoomed out. The U.S. indices have been incredibly bullish. We've been in a bullish market, right? It's really hard to argue that when we're just continuing to press all-time highs. We zoom in a little bit. We look at the beginning of this year. Very choppy. Very choppy, right? Let's look at ES real quick, not to get too distracted. This has been very tough for traders to deal with, right? Especially February. And I know a lot of guys are trading NQ. I spoke to a lot of traders yesterday, right? I checked in with a lot of people. This has been a horrible month for a lot of traders. Most guys that I talk to are red. It's been one of the worst months that I've ever checked in with people. I think for this reason right here, right? Buying off the highs, selling off the lows. What do? Whole lot of nothing, right? We're stuck in a range here, for, this is half a month, right? Choppy. So, moderate time frames, pretty choppy, right? Even higher time frame. This is really choppy. Is this super bearish? It depends on where you're looking. So I always like to draw attention to that because, people say, wait for the higher time frame to align with the lower time frame and then take the short on a pullback, if it's bearish. And okay, that makes sense. I like that, right? But, bearish how? Bearish to who? How are you classifying that? Important to kind of have some structure into what you're gonna classify as bullish or bearish, right? Bearish on the day, certainly. We are breaking prior day low. We've pushed to the downside. We're forming a nice bearish candle here. This is looking very weak. We're approaching higher time frame lows, right? From the 23rd, 24th. This is looking very weak. But again, you could always make a case for bullish or bearish. So in creating your own bias, right? Understand that it's your bias. For every buyer, there's a seller. That's how this market functions. In case you guys didn't know, for everybody that's selling, there is a buyer, right? For everybody that's buying, there is a seller. Really important to note that. For me, I like to take a look at the higher time frame and understand from a, zoomed out daily chart. Are we pushed to the upside? Are we breaking to the downside? Then I like to zoom in on and I trade off the pretty high time frame here, the 15-minute, right? I like to zoom into the 15-minute and say, okay, well, what have we been doing this week? And then what did we do yesterday and the day before? And then what do we do in the overnight session, right? Slowly getting more and more and more zoomed in. And then what are we doing immediately off of the open, right? And then what are we doing as we approach a key area of interest, right here, right now, right? So it's kind of this slow zoom in, and I take all of that context into the trading decision that I make. There's some consistency in the very stupidly simple pattern that I attempt to exploit on YM off the open. But like I said today, right? I like the short. It's more of a continuation. This down here, this is dicey, right? We could go for it, but this is a little bit dicey. So, we utilize that discretion, that subjective interpretation of all the tools that we use, our discernment of the trend, right? Price is certainly moving down right here, right now, right? You zoom out a little bit, it doesn't look so weak. Anyway, as we push lower, looking, 750s, 700s for a really aggressive long. I think we could bounce. I think even if we're going to sell off, right? Even if this is aggressive, guys. Down here is aggressive. I don't know that we get here. We certainly are at the bottom end of, you know, this area of high volume right here. I don't know if we come down here and sweep some lows. I'm not comfortable taking it here with a stop loss here. We could certainly start to bounce and go right back up through VWAP on this one. It looks like, you know, sellers are struggling to take this thing lower. But if I was going to get long on this, it'd be down here. Down below, sweeping these big lows right here. Why? I think even if we're going to continue lower, right? Even if we're really going to sell off today, like we're not going to go back in time, but even if we're really going to come down here, what do I think we do first? Little bit of a bounce, right? We're going to try, maybe we're going to hit VWAP and then continue, right? You know, kind of like this. Before we came all the way down here, right? We sold off really aggressively. What do we do? Right? Retest and then sell off. Retest, then sell off, right? That very simple break and retest market structure. Now, I don't always want to be aiming for this leg of the move, right? I don't want to be always trying to catch the little pullback in a big downtrend. That's not the game plan. But I am aware of where these might happen in price action market structure, right? And I don't know that we sell off today. But even if we do, I think there's a spot where, you know, on the chart right here where we could put up a fight. So let's see. Let's see. Just zooming out a lot on this to see what I'm getting myself into here. Yeah, this is a zone right here, right? You know, there's a case to be made to draw it right off of these highs. Low right here. You know, we got some important 4-hour lows right here. This is certainly coming into it. You know, I like to be, if I'm going to get long on something as it's pushing lower, I want to be pretty aggressive. I want to try to get a real good price, and then have a nice wide stop loss. Where I'm wrong, I'm dead wrong because we dumped and we're down 1,000 points on the day, right? You know, that's what I want to see. I want to be wrong down here, right? You know, I don't want to be wrong right here. Let's see. Look at week. Good morning, Miguel. Good morning, Purple Ninja. Good morning. I'm doing great, Zach, and you're doing well, man. Listen, we're here. We're living and breathing. We're above ground. That's number one. Yeah, everybody that's got that, you know, you might be facing some stuff above ground that's pretty bad, but if you got that, man, you're doing a whole lot better than many. You got the ability to be on here with me with a live stream, even if you're tuning in from a spot, a country, a home-based location that's really not ideal. You don't love it. You're doing better than majority of people in the world by a long shot. If you have an internet connection and the ability to get on YouTube, that's just a fact. You ask me how I'm doing in my life with a beautiful family and a home and traveling next week to nice places and all of the things that I have in my life. If I say anything other than fantastic, I'm really out of touch with what's going on in the world. So fantastic, man. Fantastic. That's how I'm doing today. Let's see. That's the positive energy today. So here we go. Still selling off, guys. Still selling off. This is looking weak. Weak. NQ looks like it's doing something similar here. Whoa, almost broke bookmap there. YM still continuing the downside. Oof, not much below price at all down here, guys. Not much below price at all on YM. Like I said, around the 750s to 700s, I'm looking long on this. Let's get ready for it. Again, arbitrary take profit. Something that I really wouldn't look to hold to. Fixed stop loss. Let's see. Coming into the 700s right now. Are we just going to dump today? I said 750s to 700s. That's a little bit further down here, guys. I'm going to try to stick to my guns. All right, we're not at this zone. We're sweeping low. We're getting real close to lows down here. I am going to look to try it aggressively around these lows. Here we go. Coming lower. Come on. It's aggressive, guys. This is really aggressive. I mean, look at this structure, what I'm buying into here. You know, I would definitely exercise some serious caution. You know, we're like 600 some odd points down on the day. Come on, get out of here, bro. Yeah, 600 some odd points down on the day. This is a pretty aggressive buy play. Close, close, close. Come on, man. ES finding buyers off these lows. I'm looking for a little bit of that crack lower, but this might be it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Chat. Uh-oh. Finding buyers here. Is he gonna leave without me? I'm gonna stay patient. I'm not in yet. I'm not gonna front run this. This is a really aggressive one. I'd be more than happy to watch it turn without me before we really get down to the level that I want to buy into. If I'm gonna buy off the lows like this really, really aggressively, I want to see something really, really gnarly. Really, really good price. Wrong all the way down here. Just zooming out because this takes up so much of the damn screen. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Let's see. Let's see if I'm going to be the only idiot on YouTube buying today. Finding buyers, man. If we give this low up, this could be lights out. I'm waiting for another dip. I think it's got another pop. I think it's got another dip in it. Discretion. Here comes the discretion. Let's see how it serves me today. We didn't hit the area that I want. We didn't hit my level. We didn't hit the 750s to 700s. Traded right towards the 48,800s, and we're finding buyers. It's really not enough. No, we're not going to take these lows. Damn. There it is. There's buyers starting to step in here. Do I want to pull this? Nah, guys, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna stay patient. This could be the turn. This could be buyers. I think it's got another. I think it's got another crack below these lows. I think we put a wick in here and we wick down here. I'm gonna utilize my discretion. First off, it's not even close to a mistrade. We didn't sweep the low that I wanted, and we didn't hit the zone. We didn't hit the 750s, right? I called out a number. I try to, at very least, stick to my guns. I'm not going to chase this. If it starts to go without me, it goes without me. It's not a mistrade. I need a push down here. I really do. I'm looking 100 points lower. And if I jump in now and I take a stop here when my stop loss should be down here, you know, I did something wrong. So also, I think these moves, here we go. Coming down towards these lows, taking lows. Let's see. These moves can be really aggressive, right? As we come into lows like this, there's a lot of liquidity here. These moves could be really, really aggressive down here. Here we go, trading 750s. Now I'm in. Entry at 48,760s, guys. Traded to the 745s. What's the low here? Traded through the 750s. I'm taking it right here. One mini. Stop at 48,566. 200 points lower. If we dump another 200 points, I'm dead wrong. We are not finding buyers below these lows. We are selling off 850 points on the day. I like this down below this low. This is very aggressive, guys. Very aggressive. This does present a nice risk structure just on a pullback up to VWAP. This would be a larger win if I'm able to capture it, right? I think more aggressive, right? Bigger chance of a stop out, bigger chance of a larger win. Again, this take profit is not, does not matter. You can put that way outside. I'm not going to run a fixed take profit. I enter with an OCO order just so I have one. But I'm long 48,760s. Glad I waited and I didn't chase it back up here at the 850s. I think this could be a really nice win just on a move back towards VWAP. Even if we pull all the way back up to squeeze some shorts that are getting involved off the open, that could be really, really beautiful. It's not going to take much to catch a bounce off of this thing. So, I like it. I like it. But again, really aggressive, right? Buying into weakness, buying into selling pressure. You know, oftentimes what happens? We just dump, right? So I'm looking, Yeah, I'm looking for the top end of this. I think just on a nice pop back up, at very least, I'm looking for the top end, right? Where would I say, you know, if I'm out before this level, I did something wrong? I'm going to say right in here at very least, right? What is this? The 015s? I'm going to say right in here. If I'm out before that, no, I could even say before the 900s. If I'm out before this, I did something wrong. If I'm out before the 4900s, catching over a 1-to-1, I think I did something wrong, right? Holding past that point would be pretty aggressive. We come up to these lows and I don't close out, I'm definitely going to go stop loss to break even. If we pop, you know, 150 some odd points to the upside, we start to approach that 150 point to the upside level, I'm going to go stop to break even. Below that, we dance around here. I'm not going to go stop to break even. I think I would just generate an immediate stop out. So let's see. Let's see what we got. Let's see what the market's got for us. It's Friday. Let's see if the market wants to be cool. Appreciate you guys hopping on as always. Thanks for being here, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for coming to hang out with me. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys. And now that we got a trade on, I don't really have to do too much. Hang tight. Be right back, guys. Be right back. Chatty chat. How we doing, guys? How are we doing on this fine Friday? Appreciate y'all hopping on, man. We're long YM, and by we, I mean me. Do your own research, make your own trading decisions. If you're taking signals from anybody at all, or copying anybody's trades, you're a fool. I can't believe the amount of people that advertise signals. First off, it's not allowed. It's 110% not allowed. Second off, you gotta be a crazy person to take somebody else's trades. It'll never work out. Signals never work out. So whatever you do, definitely don't copy what I do. I mean that genuinely. That's not like, oh, he's doing a disclaimer. No, signals don't work. If they did, nobody would actually trade, right? You just, take signals from everybody else. Number one, you'll never be fast enough, even if they did work. You'll never be fast enough. You'll never be able to execute as fast as that person is executing. It's humanly impossible. And second off, you'll never have the confidence to hold the positions the way that person's going to hold the positions. You'll never have the confidence because you're not that person. You'll never develop that confidence. And third, and equally most important, you're tethering yourself. Even if it did work, you're tethering yourself to somebody else. That's a horrible way to do anything in life. Anyway. Same Zach. Nice. Wait for 10 a.m. Nice. Yeah, we got 10 a.m. We'll see if we catch the pop there. Guys, it's Friday. I got to talk about this. It's Friday. Next trading day is Monday. We got something big coming from Top 1 Futures. Now, some of you guys have heard a little bit about this. We had Clay on the show last week. I'm going to throw this in the live stream. We had Clay on the show last week, the founder, one of the founders of Top 1 Futures, Top 1 Trader, talking about this. If you guys missed some of that, you could hop in the 100% free Discord that I run. What's up, Slothfather on Kick? What's happening? I'd be more than happy to give you as much insight as I possibly can without getting myself in trouble. If you want the best, fastest, quickest information and the best deal on this when it drops, hop in the Discord, guys. Hop in the Discord. I'll try to keep you guys updated. I'm super stoked on this. I think this is going to be massive. Little couple hints on this. A lot of traders have been asking for an eval account, an inexpensive eval account with no activation fee, with daily payouts, no consistency in funded, right? End of day trailing drawdown in both the evaluation and the funded, fast pass eval, right? I think we got something massive coming from Top 1. I really do, guys. I think it's going to be sick. I think these are easily going to be my favorite accounts from Top 1 and industry wide. I think it's going to be awesome, man. I think it's going to be really awesome. I want it now. Bought one from Lucid like that today. So Sir Lunchalot, which account did you get from Lucid? Because I don't know that Lucid has an account that I'm describing here, right? I don't know that Lucid has an account with end of day trailing drawdown and the ability to take daily payouts from day one in the funded account. I think they've got a couple of different consistency rule in funded accounts, which mean you have minimum trading days, or a no consistency in funded with a 5 minimum trading days, right? What if you had a funded account where you had no consistency rule and no minimum trading days to pay out? That would be sick, right? And listen, there's some stuff out there. There's definitely some stuff out there that are like this, right? Take Profit Trader has some stuff that is a daily payout account. My Funded Futures, Funded Next, and Tradeify. They all have some different options for daily payout style accounts, right? But they're all different. They're all a little bit different. Anyway, you guys want to check this out. Link in the chat to the 100% free Discord, where I will keep you guys as updated as I possibly can without getting in trouble by giving too much information too quickly. But yeah, Top 1 Futures. I keep your eyes peeled for Monday, man. I think this is going to be absolutely awesome. I think it's going to be such a good opportunity for traders. I'm super stoked. Super, super stoked. Been talking with their team, working with their team a lot recently, as always. I'll be traveling with them next week. It's going to be sick. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled for Monday, guys. Wow, price? Lucid Flex. Daily payout. That's not in Lucid, right? Crazy. Morning, gang. Are we going to give away that account later? Well, that account's not out yet, so I can't technically give it away. Are we going to run some giveaways on Monday? Maybe something drops from Top 1 Futures, and we hop on here and I run hella giveaways for it? Probably. So, yeah, probably. But yeah, guys, I'd keep your eyes peeled. Yeah, so Lucid Flex. So also, guys, I think Lucid's solid, right? I've traded with Lucid this month. It was my first time trading with them. I took my first payout with Lucid from the first account that I got funded with. I traded the 50K Lucid Black accounts. They were pretty sweet. They have a consistency in challenge and a consistency in funded of 40%. What I saw from the Lucid Flex is they have no consistency in funded, but they have 5 minimum trading days to pay out. Same as like Top Step, right? Where you have a minimum trading days to pay out. At very best 5, where you need to put up green days for 5 days. There are other accounts out there where once you get past the buffer, right? Which you could do on day 1, there's daily payouts. So, but there's always going to be trade-offs, right? There's always going to be something that's better or worse on certain accounts. I will say, dude, I think this is going to be insane. I think it's going to be one of the best accounts. It might be the best account for me. It might be the best account for you, but I don't know, right? The best account for you might be something completely different based on your skill set, your style of trading, the platform you use, your capital allocation, right? There's always going to be, pluses and minuses, right? There's no free lunch. We would all love a instant funded account with no challenge and no consistency, and then you just got free money, right? It doesn't exist, okay? There's going to be trade-offs. But I do think the prop space is getting more and more competitive, and they have to listen to what traders want out of these accounts. And I think Top One really listened on this one. I think it's gonna be sick. So, man, watching YM really not bounce here. Talking about the trade that I'm in, I don't love this, guys. I love CVD, increasing on ES, even though I don't trade those in correlation. I don't love CVD decreasing on YM. That's sellers just continuing to hammer it. We did not catch the bounce so far that I would have liked to have seen out of this zone, out of this area. As we come into the 10 a.m. time frame, we could see some volatility coming in. Right now, I'm looking for this back up towards VWAP, but there is a chance that we just keep doing what we're doing, guys. This was very weak off the open. This technically was not a retest of VWAP when we were here. VWAP got drug into this tail on this 15-minute, but we did pop a little bit at the open before selling off. I'm looking for that reversion back up. We very well might not get that, man. And again, if we give up this area right here, I think we're aggressively going to move lower, right? I think this is a decision-making point. We're going to pop back up, go see VWAP, or we're going to dump. We're going to sell off 200 points from right here, right? So, if you're looking to take the exact opposite trade as me, just a short to the downside, I don't think that's a bad play either, right? Where do you structure risk on something like that? I don't know. I don't know where you put a stop on something like that. But I do think if we're going to move lower, I think we're going to move lower very quickly. I think we're going to continue outside of this area of high volume, right? This high volume node, and we're going to aggressively come down to check these lows out. Probably even here, right? Probably way down here. If I had to say, if you said, hey, Zach, if we sell off today, where are we going? I'd say like, the 400s, 425s, 400s down below these lows. But I'm looking for a quick pop right back up here. That would be, yeah, like I said, over a 200-point move to the upside, over a 1-to-1. Beautiful. I'm not holding for this. This is an arbitrary take profit. That's just way outside of where I would actually take profit in case I have to step away. So I have an OCO order. But we're going to chill out. We are going to let price do whatever it's going to do. Remember, guys, here's a really calm thing to tell yourself. All right. I have no idea. This is going to sound like a contradiction because it is. It's a paradox. I have no idea what's going to happen next. I have absolutely no idea. And anybody that tells you in the markets that they know what's going to happen next with 100-degree certainty, they are either a complete liar fraud or they're naive. They just haven't been around long enough, or some combination of both, right? We don't know what's going to happen next on any one movement. We can't possibly know because we can't possibly know how all of the market participants are going to react at the same time in real time. That's the only way we could know that, right? At the same time, we are going to put risk on the line directionally. We're going to make money if one thing happens and lose money if another thing happens. It's crazy to say, we don't know what's going to happen next and then put money on the line, right? We might know what is more likely to happen based on it happening 70% of the time over the last 1,000 trades, right? That gives us one thing that's more likely to happen over another based on historical information, right? We might have an ideal way to structure risk, right? Where, we have a good indication that at a specific level, we have a decent way to structure risk and maybe make a little bit more if we're right and lose a little bit less if we're wrong and have a positive risk reward. But we don't know what's going to happen next. And if you can hold that paradox as a fundamental truth in your little monkey brain, the way that I try to, you are able to just chill out. You're able to execute effectively, and you're able to take wins and losses saying, yeah, I have no idea what's going to happen next, right? You're able to think in larger sample sizes. You're able to say, what's happening over the next 20 trades, 30 trades, right? The next month or two of data. The next couple trades, whatever, dude. It's not fun to take L's. It's fun to take wins, but we have no idea what's going to happen, right? So, try to think about that. That is, in my humble opinion, what all of the mindset, the psychology, the thought process behind all of the best traders, right? The market wizards, right? The Tom Hogards, the Larry Pesaventos, and Dr. David Pauls, and trading in the zone, Mark Douglas's of the worlds, right? That's the mindset. It's the opposite of some of the retail that you hear where I have wrote the algorithm and I know exactly what's going to happen next to the tick. I can call price. I know exactly where price is going to turn to the tick. And that's how, and you can too. I don't subscribe to that. Maybe you do. Maybe that works for you. That's fine. But I would encourage you to think about, things for yourself. Try to open and expand your mind and try to understand what we're doing here. We're playing a game of probabilities, right? We're trying to define an edge in very random on the short term, consistent on the long term market conditions, right? Because that's just the truth. So think about that. Long-winded explanation, but sometimes, you know, I watch traders and they're so nervous as soon as they put a trade on. Their heart rate spikes. They're freaking out. They're all over the place. They're watching this. Oh man, $200, close it. Oh no, $250, close it, right? Chill out, bro. You don't know what's gonna happen next anyway. Relax. You know, use your discretion, use your intuition, right? But stop trying to predict what's going to happen next. React to what's happening on the screen with some consistency, right? And then let the damn things play out. You're gonna take wins, you're gonna take losses. You know, welcome to the show, right? Hope that helps, guys. You know, watching guys speak like that and describe that to me, and watching them trade and take back-to-back-to-back losses, and be pissed off about it, but a little bit, you know, a little bit indifferent about it, really helped me. I was like, damn, dude, what? This guy's getting cooked. Why is he so chill? This dude took like 6 losses all of these live trading sessions. How is he making money? Like, what is he? How is he not stressing out and throwing everything out the window and completely changing? That's trading, man. Welcome to the show. So, anyway. Man, ES is already consolidating. That's awesome, especially for beginners. Hoping it's just not super expensive. Nope. It will not be super expensive. It's going to be an eval account. We were talking about this as we pop to the upside. Or baby. Nice. Nice bars. Cool. Are you trading eval or funded right now? Neither. I am trading a live account. This is a Top 1 Futures 15K live account. I always let you guys know what account I'm in every time that I hop on. I do think it's annoying that we don't have, like, you know, P&Ls and stuff running with like labels up here the way we had on Project X, which was a little bit better, a little bit more transparent. But this is the same 15K Top 1 Futures live account through Ninja Trader Trading View that I've been trading since October. Yeah. We hope for a positive pop upwards. Can't see any more liquidity for a grab below. Hoping on upwards. Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, guys, I'm going to stick to the same trade management, right? I'm looking for a move up here to grab profit. This is a dicey spot above this 15-minute high as we pop back up here to not go stop loss to break even. I'm not going to do it. I wanted at least 150, 160 points. I want to be driving back up here to go stop loss to break even and then look to take some profit up near VWAP. You know, this is really aggressively lower. I don't, you know, I'm not trading for a complete reversal on the day. I'm trading for a push back up. We swept these lows. We're coming back up. I can, you know, whether we take a win or a loss, like I talked about, you know, yesterday and the day before, I'm really happy with my chart markup, my analysis, my read of YM, and, you know, my discernment of where we might find buyers and sellers, you know, off of nearly the middle of this zone. You know, we've had our biggest pullback, our biggest push up on the day, right? You know, now can I exercise my discretion and execute well enough to capitalize on making money, you know, with that analysis? That's the hard part, right? You know, drawing lines on a chart and watching price bounce back and forth doesn't pay you or me, right? So let's see. Continuing to drive higher here. You know, this is a pretty big spot. So, you know, I have to ask myself, am I comfortable with this? You know, this could easily happen, right? If we pop higher, I don't want to allow that to happen. Yeah, here we go. I'm going stop loss to break even here, guys, as discussed. This is about 130 points, 130 points into profit. I'm going to look around. Yeah, I'm going to look before that 49,000 evens for a W. Show me $750 in profit. Like I said, this low is a dicey spot right here. Let's see, we got across the rest of these as we drive higher. A little bit more out of this one. A little bit more out of this one. I'm going to take it, guys. Let's see. Again, could be a really big reversal coming. I don't know that I want to trade for that. In fact, I don't want to. We didn't catch the really aggressive bounce the way that I wanted to immediately after ending. We hung out down here, pushed lower. Sellers really put up a fight. We got a bounce here. I was waiting for a little bit more out of this. That might be it. That might be it. I'm waiting for a little bit more of a push higher on this one, guys. Let's see if we can get it. Just checking around the horn at Bookmap at all of these. Just seeing if we're coming into like major levels of liquidity on ES. Yeah, we kind of are. There's not too much above ES here. Nice positive CVD until we got up there and started to drop off. Ooh, ES back above VWAP. Struggling here, guys. Struggling. I'm grabbing 725 bucks on this one, guys. I'm taking the W on that. This could be the big reversal. We could absolutely blast higher. We could trade through VWAP. I'm gonna take 725 on that, man. It's Friday. I'm not gonna aim for the home run. I've been continuing to take base hits in this Top 1 Futures live account. Exercise the daily payouts. I'm gonna put another 700 bucks in my bank account today and go have a nice dinner with my wife. I do think this thing could come all the way back up to VWAP. We're running into some overhead resistance right here. We really started to top out after hitting this high. We could absolutely blast higher. Stop loss to break even. I gotta ask myself, am I comfortable with this happening? No, right? Well, that means I'm gonna try to take it on the first pop up. Am I trading for a huge reversal? If I am, stop loss should just be down here and I should be waiting for this thing to rip back higher. I'm not trading for any of it. Out for a W, man. Now we get to hang out and give some accounts away. W's in the live account. W's in the live account, man. Chat, how we thinking? How we feeling today, man? How we feeling? How we feeling on YM? How are we feeling on YM? I think you guys know what time it's about to be. But before it's about that time, we're gonna make this a quick one, man. Get in and out, get paid. I'm gonna move on with my day. Big W, boom, gold longs, nice. MNQ. We got a lot of questions about this, guys. A lot of questions. Top 1 Futures. Keep your eyes out for Monday. Do you have any hints at the price of the new account? Gaw Jam. Take a look around. Take a look around at other eval style daily payout accounts. Most of the time, the accounts are going to fall somewhat similar, right? Nobody's going to be way lower. Nobody's going to be way higher, right? So take a look around the horn at eval model daily payout accounts. I think it's going to be the cheapest out of all of those. I think it's going to be slightly cheaper than everything else that's out there on the market that offers that type of benefit without saying anything else. 1 L for the day, follow rules, all good. There you go. Mine could have been a win. Mine could have been an L today easily. Yes, locked out for the day, 500 for passing, not blowing it. Lock it out, bro. Orb high to 25K, nice. And NQ Profit, what's up, bro? Appreciate you hanging out. There you go, dude. Look at this man. Look, someone stop this man. Look at him go. Beautiful, dude. 15-minute orb on NQ. I said NQ Profit. NHO Profit. We hope for more positive pop. Yeah, cool. I think before you enter a trade, you should be comfortable losing a set amount. Purple Ninja Facts. Fantastic comment. Fantastic comment. Before you enter a trade, you should be comfortable losing however much money you have on the line, right? That's part of the game. That's part of the game, right? When I got long here, This was the trade for the day, guys. Right? Whoa. Somewhere in here. Let's be like, let's I think I was in the zone, but what was I, 760 or something? When you put a trade on, it's a requirement. It's a requirement. It's not an option. It's a requirement for you to be comfortable losing the amount of risk that you have on to your stop loss, right? If you don't have a stop loss, it's just the whole account. But it's not optional. It's not you should. You have to. If you don't fully accept that risk, know how much the risk is and accept it, you're operating from a mindset that just does not make sense. You're operating from a mindset of, I know what's going to happen next, and I don't need to structure my risk, right? That is just fundamentally wrong, in my humble opinion, right? Now, you might not think that it's going to get hit because you believe one thing is more likely to happen over another. But if you don't fully accept that at any moment, anything can happen at any time, right? A war could break out, Trump could sneeze, tariff talk could start up, just a random, spike in liquidity based on a huge market player doing something that they're not supposed to do, news breaking. If you don't fully believe that at any point something could happen and that your stop loss could get hit, you're not operating with the right mindset, and the baseline for you is wrong, right? So structuring and accepting your risk, super important. Now, maybe that means for you trade without a stop loss. Your risk is the whole account. That's fine, so long as you accept that that's a potential, right? And one day, if you trade for long enough, that will probably come for you, right? It's a requirement. There's some things in the market that, it's not you should or you shouldn't. It's, I've never seen anybody successful not, right? Something to think about, right? Something to think about. Structure and accept your risk, right? That's the key here, guys. What is your stop loss? Do you have a stop loss? Where is it? Are you going to add in? Are you going to take out? Are you going to trade without a stop loss? It's going to be tight. It's going to be wide. Whatever you do. Don't have one. Have one. What is the risk that you have on for whatever position you have on? Do you accept that? Do you truthfully believe at your core that in the blink of an eye, if that gets hit, you're not going to go cry and be upset? If not, you're over risking, over leveraging. You're trading. You're gambling, right? You're believing that it's not going to get hit. That's why if you end the trading day sad or upset by the amount of money that you lost, you did something wrong, right? If you end the trading day red as all hell, losing multiple accounts, if that was on the table for you, that's fine. You did what you were supposed to do, right? But structure and accept your risk. That's control risk. That's a fundamental piece of trading. So anyway, guys, we were talking about this account. Before we do the giveaway, because I'm going to run a giveaway, plot twist, keep your eyes peeled for Monday. Hop in the 100% free trading Discord if you want the most updated information. We have something insane coming from Top 1. I know I haven't talked too much about Top 1. I'm joking around a little bit when I say that. Okay, Slothfather says, if this is close to take profit trader, but staying with end of day instead of intraday, I'm all in. Okay, so Slothfather, right? We were talking about give and take. And hop in Discord, you could read my write-up. There's two different styles of accounts in general, right? Well, there's three. There's instant funded, which is kind of on its own. Instant funded accounts, you're going to pay a higher price. You're going to end up with no challenge at all. You're going to skip the challenge completely. And then the drawback is typically a tight consistency rule. Then you have a couple different kinds of eval style accounts, right? You have, in general, eval style accounts that are pretty inexpensive, clear rule set, and then, a big range of what you get in a funded account, from consistency rules to daily payouts, right? Then you have a chunk over here, which is maybe a combination of more expensive, harder evals, and significantly harder funded rules, but a big upside potential, really big uncapped payouts, right? So when we look at Take Profit Trader, just like you said, has not only an intraday trailing drawdown, which also I just traded with Take Profit Trader this month. I think they're awesome. I think they're very solid. Took a payout with them, but they're different, right? They have an intraday trailing drawdown in the funded account that you don't have in the eval, and they have a 5-day to pass eval, right? So you're looking at something very different there. Daily payouts with but what's the upside? Big upside cap. You could put up $10,000 for day one and take it, right? That doesn't come without, it doesn't come without something, right? The extreme of that version is Apex, right? Extremely cheap account, extremely difficult rules, extremely big upside cap. Really only serves a very small subset of traders that want to go for that, right? What I favor is easy rules, a lot of things that I like, which are daily payouts, no consistency in funded, sorry guys, no consistency in funded, end of day trailing drawdown, right? Which maybe we see from here. Pretty inexpensive price, pretty fast to get through an eval, and then the ability to copy trade, right? A tighter payout cap, because again, there's not going to be any free lunch, but the ability to scale, the ability to copy trade, right? So, I'm not a fan of intraday trailing drawdown. It's super difficult, super tough, in my humble opinion. I'm not a fan of 1,000 other rules stacked against you. I'd prefer to copy trade easier rules if I had to, right? But that's just me. So, kind of thinking about these things. So the answer to that question is no, right? There's not going to be any free lunch. Take Profit Trader is not going to give you a instant funded account with end of day trailing drawdown, daily payouts, and no consistency and a huge upside potential, right? It's just not going to exist. Why? It's way too easy. It's free lunch, right? You just YOLO the account, and eventually, you're going to run up $1 million payout. So there's going to be, pluses and minuses, drawbacks in here, right? But this is going to be what I believe, in my humble opinion. Someone asked what's my favorite account. What launches on Monday? I'm gonna trade with it and test more with it, and and talk to you guys about it. But I'd be hard pressed to see anything that beats this, given the price, the rules, everything about it. So I'm super excited. I've been with Top One since the beginning. They have not been without some setbacks, right? Since last year. They've been extremely aggressive in the instant funded game. They've had some of the best instant funded accounts, and they still do today. They are getting extremely aggressive in the evaluation game. I am super excited to see it. I think more and more traders are trading evaluation accounts. They like the cheaper price, the lower barrier to entry. They like the upside potential once you get to the funded account. I think this is really going to blow everything else in the market out of the water, or at least be extremely close. But again, that's my opinion. You might say, hey, Zach, that's cool. I've been trading for 10 years, and I want to aim for, a $100,000 payout from, a couple of accounts. There's only going to be a specific, small set of accounts. You might say, hey, I want an instant funded account. Not for you. You might say, hey, I like to tick scalp. Probably not for you, right? I like to trade on Addis Trader, right? It's, they don't offer that. Not for you. So there's not going to be one best, right? So anyway, keep your eyes on Monday, man. Hang tight, guys. Let me get the giveaway running. W's in the chat on the day. No complaints, man. It's a beautiful day, man. It's a beautiful day. But yeah, guys, this is I got a ton of people asking me info. I can't give any more than I already have. Stay tuned on this one. I think this is going to bring Top One right to the forefront. It's going to be one of those super aggressive accounts that you see majority of traders trading, right? I think traders are smart. I think they know where the best opportunities are. That's what I believe, at least for you guys. I think you're smart, chat, and I think you can read rules and pricing and understand, what the best accounts are. And that's what you go out and trade. And I always encourage you guys to do that. I think this is going to be one of them. Give us some insider information. Give us some insider of the insider information. Hop in Discord. Go to Discord. Go to the main chat. The updates and alerts. That's the most information I can give, guys. I've already given more than I'm supposed to. Let me be clear about it. And on Monday, before we drop this giveaway form, on Monday, when things launch, I like to give stuff away, right? You probably want to be on stream Monday morning, 9:15 a.m. Eastern, guys. It's the last stream of next week for me. I got travel. I'm going to do podcasts. We got trader meetups. I'm going to Colombia with a bunch of guys from the top 1 team. Going to be awesome. Do not miss Monday's stream, man. Do not miss Monday's stream. If you want to see you want to talk about what I'm talking about, you want to hear what I got going on, you want a chance to win one of maybe some accounts, probably not going to want to miss Monday's stream. All right, guys, it's giveaway time. Real quick, giveaway form is in the chat. Go ahead and get it filled out. Quick rules, because nobody can follow instructions. Only going to say this one time, real quick. 5 minutes to get this filled out. It will close at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Only fill the form out one time. If you break any of these rules or you don't follow these instructions, you're not going to get the account. There's no going back and forth about it. Just we'll run it again. You won't get it. Only fill it out one time. Fill it out more than one time, you're also going to get banned. You're not going to win, but you're also going to get banned from top 1. You have to be in the chat to claim the win. 5 minutes, we run the duck race. You got to be here to claim it in the chat. If you're not here, you don't get the account. Anything else you do incorrectly, you put the wrong name, the wrong email, the wrong IG name because you need to be following IG. You don't use an email. You don't use Instagram. You do anything else. The name is wrong on top 1. The email is wrong on top 1. You don't get the account. I've become inundated doing these giveaways. I love doing the giveaways, guys. I can't go back and forth on 1,000 little nuanced things because somebody didn't follow the instructions. They messed something up. So if any of that happens, it is no account for you. Okay? I'm going to stop saying that altogether, but I wanted to say it a couple times this week because I had people do exactly that, not follow the instructions, and then get mad when they don't get the account. It also makes me sad, guys. I want to give you the account. I'd like to give it to you. So anyway, follow the instructions. They're very simple, very clear cut. All right. Remember, YouTube and IG can give you different names. Yes, Lowell, most interested in the name of the new plan. You're going to have to wait to find out. Yeah. What type of account to choose on top 1? I'd probably be waiting for Monday at this point. We gave some insider information. Thanks for the heads up, Zach. Yeah. You been to Lucid Z? Great place for. Yeah, I was just talking about Lucid. Traded with Lucid Black and took a payout this week on Monday. What type of... Yeah, we talked about that. Do you have Twitch, Zach? No, I have Kick. I'm streaming on Kick right now. Intraday isn't as bad as I thought it was. Yeah, intraday is just objectively, right? Like how bad it is or how much harder it is, right? That's out for debate. But what's not out for debate is it's objectively harder, right? It is more difficult to work with. It gives you less room to work, right? I do not like intraday trailing drawdown. Some traders, like Jeremy said here, maybe you scalp, you drag stop losses, you're very quick in and out. You could see my style of trading in general and why it probably would not bode well with intraday trailing drawdown, right? It just does not. I just don't do well with it. I find most traders don't do well with it also. It's harder. It's harder. Now, the couple daily payout accounts have intraday trailing drawdown only until you get past the buffer. So, there is the case to be made that, trade it super aggressively, get heavy before the intraday. You're either going to blow the account or get through it. And then you have a daily payout account, which is, similar to what we're talking about with no intraday trailing drawdown. But, yeah, still hard. Still hard. So, but again, find what works best for you. That's the key. I think we would agree that if we could choose, we would choose end of day trailing drawdown, right? If you had the option, you wouldn't pick intraday trailing drawdown. In fact, if we had the option, I would pick no drawdown at all. I would pick a static end of day loss and static max loss limit that never trails with you, right? So that shows you, what gets harder and harder. But it just depends. What's too hard? What's too what's something you don't want to work with. It sucks. You can blow an account just by breaking even. Yeah. So I was trading my one of my Take Profit Trader accounts live with you guys. What was it, this week or last week? And it was a fresh account or somewhat fresh. I had the full $2,000 max loss limit. The trade moved in my favor considerably. I didn't close out, and then it came back to stop me out, and it didn't kill the account on stream, but I had almost nothing left. I essentially lost the account being about break even. I lost the account with like $200 of loss, right? So on an account without intraday trailing drawdown, where I would have lost $200 on that day, I lost the entire account, right? I lost $2,000 because it moved in my favor and then moved against me. But that's part of following the rules. It's part of, understanding. So anyway, I hope that helps. That helps, guys. But yeah, intraday trailing drawdown is tough. A lot of these other rules are tough, right? But again, there's trade-offs, just so we're clear about this. I'm not saying people go, oh, it's a scam and everything is terrible and all these. Listen, if the prop firm pays out, which not all of them do, if they don't have a ridiculous amount of BS subjective rules they're banning traders left and right from, which some of them do, just because they have difficult rules doesn't mean it's bad or a scam or not fair, right? They usually have upside potential that comes along with that. So you read the rules the same way I read the rules, and you decide what you want to trade, right? You decide what's good for you. I think in general, the closest thing you could get to a live account, the better, right? The closer we could get to, regular market conditions, the better. Really straightforward rules that don't get too crazy, like, intraday trailing drawdown on unrealized profit or other things we have like that are important. But it's up to the trader. It's up to the trader. I think the nearest help is to manage lot sizes in a way where you don't get hit. Small profit consistently, and you'll definitely nail it. For sure. Zach, to be honest, man, it's one of the largest giveaways in the industry. Just speaking facts. It's like trading. Do what works for you. For sure. I mean, who gives a 50K account every day? Yeah. We're giving out 50K accounts almost every day. So, guys, we're closing down the forum right now. I gave you an extra minute. We are done. Finito. Let's see how good you guys followed instructions today, because we're going to get ready to run the duck race. And if you were on the stream earlier this week, you know that nobody followed instructions. Let's run it, guys. All right, guys. All right. We got 3 minutes on the clock. We got a bunch of names. Boom. Good luck, everybody. Good luck, everybody. Zach did well on my exams. Nice, man. Awesome. Awesome, bro. What's your Instagram handle? Real Deal Zach. And it's on the forum. And the link is on the forum. So, let me throw it in here. Just in case anybody, I'm going to give you guys a chance here, right? Just in case you lied and you're not following the instructions. Here's my Instagram account. Also, guys, I post a ton on IG. I know I have the Discord. I know I have YouTube. I have IG and X. I post a ton on IG. You could always follow what I got going on. You get the most real life stuff out of me. I talk about trading. I talk about recaps. I show a whole bunch. Hop on there. You're missing out if you're not on IG. Best of luck, guys. Best of luck. I'm going to take a quick step away while you guys are waiting for this one to play out. Good luck. All right, let's go, guys. Minute and 30 seconds left. Let's see. Let's see who's got this one, man. Beautiful Friday, man. Hopped on, caught a quick W, running the duck race nice and early. It's a good day, guys. It's a good day. For those of you guys that hopped on late, boom. Come on, chat. Come on, man. Come on. Catching W's all week. No, it's not always like that. Remember, guys, we take wins, we take losses. I have periods where I hop on here, and as soon as I enter, it rockets to my stop loss. That's part of the game, man. But I really do like YM. I love what it's been doing recently. Really through last year, it's been working really, really well for me. I'm going to continue doing that. I'm going to also continue to try to build out on NQ. We're not going to scalp NQ today. Excuse me. We're going to call it in the live account and wrap the month up on a W, man. End of the month as well. So I'll count the payouts. I'll have to go back and count the payouts. But I think this is going to be payout 15 or 16 from the same live account from October of last year. The same Top 1 Futures live account. Again, all small, nothing crazy, base hits, no huge payouts, right? But consistency and holding on to accounts. That's part of the game. In sim accounts, the really aggressive sim accounts, it's very different. Multiple lost evals, multiple lost accounts, not holding on to stuff, right? Paying for it. It's just a different approach. But I'm happy to be able to display, more of what real trading looks like and what you would attempt to do in a live account. And then, leveraging the asymmetry that is the prop firm, game. So, all right. Let's run it, guys. Cyrus, 7393. Let's see. Did he follow the instructions? Chat, what do we think? Hold on, chat. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. Yes, we got a W. Thank you for following the instructions, man. W's in the chat for Cyrus7393. He's in the chat, and he followed the instructions. Wonderful, man. Awesome. Thank you. I can actually send you the account. We don't have to worry about too much, man. Awesome. Look at YM, man. Look at YM going, man. Back to VWAP. Beautiful. Now, guys, before we go anywhere, first off, W's in the chat for the gentleman or woman that just won. Awesome to see. Links going in chat right now. Number 1, Instagram. Follow on IG, guys. I got a ton of travel coming up. I'm going to be with a ton of big traders next week. It's going to be awesome. Super psyched to be traveling with Top 1 down to Colombia, doing podcasts, interviews down in Miami with a whole bunch more guys. It's going to be awesome. Super psyched. I try to update and I yap on social media, so feel free to follow along on IG. Along with that, if you want the most updated information on what we're about to show right now, you want the most updated information on this, something massive coming on Monday, maybe a badass eval account, maybe one of the best that you're gonna see. If you're trading with anybody else, guys, put them up against it. Put them up against it, guys. That's all I'm gonna say. You guys know me. I don't get too hyped up about BS. Different stuff comes out. I talk about things with grain of salt, right? I share different things that I'm hyped up about, and I'm very hyped up about this. I'm very excited to leverage this stuff myself, and I'm excited to bring it to you guys. So, if you want to check it out, Monday, be on stream, get in the Discord, turn notifications on. You guys know that you will get the best deal from code RDF, man. Better than anywhere else you're going to find when this bad boy drops. Appreciate you guys being here, man. We're 1W. It does look like this thing would have absolutely continued to run all the way back to VWAP. I'm happy catching the quick W and putting 700 some odd dollars in the live account that's going to hit my bank account before the weekend. And probably go spend it and have some fun with my wife this weekend. It'll be great. Anyway, guys, thanks for being here. Awesome week of live trading. Certainly not without the back and forth. Certainly not without some back-to-back L's, scalp and NQ. Very solid results here on YM. I'll make a little trade recap about this one later on as well. Hop in Discord. Super excited for Monday, guys. Don't miss this. Don't be sleeping on Monday. Don't be sleeping in on Monday. Anyway, guys, appreciate you being here. Remember, quick disclaimer. Oh, real quick before we go. Live stream Monday only next week. That's it. Hop in Discord. I always keep you guys updated. No stream Tuesday through Friday. I've been saying that every single stream. I'm sure a bunch of people will go, where's Zach? He's not streaming this week. Stream on Monday only. Quick disclaimer, guys. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do here or anywhere else is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Do your own research. Make your own decisions. Trading is extremely risky. Almost nobody makes money trading. Even with prop firms, you're a crazy person if you trade because you're probably going to lose all of your money. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content like Top 1 Futures, Code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Guys, enjoy your weekend. Get outside, touch some grass. I hope you have some fun. I'll be talking to you guys in Discord early, and I'll be talking to you guys on Monday morning.